Mr. Speaker, I'd like to start out by giving sincere thanks to everyone who has been involved in this issue. It has really been a struggle arriving at this point because the ability to determine who is exactly homeless has such infinite proportions that it's been very difficult to come to an agreement. However, the substance of this bill, the majority of the players support all sides of this on all sides of the debate. That would be on both sides of the aisle and in both chambers. But an enormous amount of thanks is due to certain people. I'm especially grateful to our chairman, Barney Frank, to our chairwoman, Waters, Representative Andre Carson, Representative Jeff Davis, and of course, my very good friend and colleague, Representative Judy Biggert, and their staffs who have done a tremendous deal of work on this bill. And all of the advocates who have worked so patiently with us. But we wouldn't be here today, Mr. Speaker, if it weren't for the outstanding work of our dear departed colleague, my dear late friend, the Representative Julia Carson of Indiana, who worked so hard on this issue for so many years and whose work has brought us to where we are today. We need to keep in mind the enormous scope of this problem in light of the housing rescue issue that we're dealing with here in this House either tonight or tomorrow. This credit crisis hits the poorest among us. We are expecting no less than 6.5 million foreclosures in the next few years. And these families, of course, are at grave risk of becoming homeless. Whether they're doubled up with a family member, sleeping in a shelter, or spending the nights on the street, our cities and towns are due to face a tidal wave of people in need. At the same time, we know that 1.6 million people already experience homelessness at some point in a given year. The mobility of kids due to housing insecurity and the education they receive is another huge problem. It is nearly impossible for a child to receive a quality education when they aren't sure where they'll be sleeping at night or even which school they'll be attending in the morning. Think about at-risk status of families and children in my own district, where 80% of the kids in our school system are eligible for free or reduced lunch. This bill provides a great deal of support for these families. First, we expand HUD's definition of homelessness. This bill includes all families who are due to lose their current housing within a 14-day period because they're doubled up, or because they've received a notice that they must move. We've doubled the amount of time that HUD currently recognizes these families under that standard from 7 days to 14 days. This bill specifically clarifies that anyone fleeing a domestic violence situation is homeless. We provide double funding for the Emergency Solutions Program, up to 20% of all funds, and then require that at least half of that money be spent on so-called homelessness prevention activities, which would be those who are couch surfing, that is, they're spending the night from couch to couch, they're doubled up, or otherwise fall outside of HUD's current definition. We also provide localities with additional flexibility to use up to 10% of their continuum of care funding to serve doubled up families. Finally, we have provisions to include children and their families who are defined as homeless under other federal statutes. This bill is not perfect, but few pieces of legislation are.